Patrick McCaffrey, Chris Murray, can those guys, Philip, Rebecca, and then our assortment of backcourt players, can they step up and make up for what those guys did? I mean, we have more players that fit positionally with what Joe did. We don't have a front court guy like Luca, but it is anybody else. I mean, nobody had one last year either. Now in our league, you do have some bigs that are pretty good, but Luca was he was different, and he was special in that sense. Yeah, I never really paid much attention to preseason prognostication. I guess it's always more exciting if you're picked near the top. It certainly is for the fans. But in this league, I remember the first year we were picked last, and that's never a good feeling. We didn't finish last, and that was, I think, something we were motivated to do, is not finish last. But I think what I try to do is focus on what can I do to help this team max out their potential. And that's my responsibility. I've been doing this a long time. I've had really good teams. I've had some teams that weren't as good. I've had a couple bad teams. And you just keep coaching them up. And the key, I think, is to develop confidence. Even if you have a few losses, develop confidence and have the players individually continue to get better. And then as long as you have character in the locker room, which we do, then they'll figure it out. We continue to play the game the right way. We continue to push the ball. We're going to be a tempo team. We might do some things differently defensively. All right, we got to do them right. We got to do them consistently. We have to be a team that does what we did last year in the sense of sharing the ball, moving the ball, and playing together. We have to get some leadership from our captains, Connor and Jordan. But we have some good young talent, and now's an opportunity for them to step up. And this league gives you that platform. It gives you opportunity. It's also very difficult because every team is really good. And you say, okay, we're 8th or 9th. I can tell you this, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they're pretty good too. And they don't want to finish there either. And so it's a mindset that you have to develop competitively to understand what it takes to put some wins together. Pardon me? Well, I think a couple things. You can do things differently technically. Like you can press more or switch more, play ball screens differently. But you can also utilize personnel differently. So maybe the intensity levels increase because you have fresh bodies. I mean, we kind of had a lot of the same guys, but especially 2 years ago, we really only played 8 guys. And if a couple of them got hurt, now you're down to 6 and you're playing walk-on. Luckily, we had 2 really good walk-ons. This year's team is, you don't have Garza and Wieskamp, but we have a lot of guys I could put out there that are really good. And even going down to Austin Ash, who's a walk-on we gave a scholarship to, who's in his 5th year, he can play. So we've got 12 or 13 guys I can run out there. Well, I think it was good for him to come back, do what he loves to do, but then also physically, figure it out because it's a different. He's 2 serious surgeries, so it's one thing to come back and play basketball, another thing to come back and play baseball. He's kind of had to relearn a lot of things on the baseball field, so it hasn't been easy for him. But I mean, I left it up to him. Does he want to play, or does he just want to focus on basketball? So he's out there. He had a good weekend last weekend. Hopefully, with this weekend too. You know, he's been such a good point guard. You know, you think about the three-point shooting, and that's what kind of sticks out. But he also is the school's all-time leader in assists. So he knows how to push the ball. He knows how to feed the post. He knows how to run motion. He knows how to run sets. But he also knows how to do that from the off-guard position. How he can get open in transition, how he can get open in our sets, in some of our motion actions. So I think having the opportunity to play him primarily as a shooter, but also move him around, I think will make it, I think, even better for him in terms of having opportunities. He'll be a marked man again, and I get that. But his range is unlimited, and while he is a great shooter, he is not somebody I would say, oh, he's a shooter. We sort of categorize people sometimes. He's a baller. I mean, he can get the ball where you don't think he can get to and push it on the break and get the ball to our shooters, to our post-up players. He really understands the game, time and score. He understands what teams are trying to do to him. And that's where experience comes in. I mean, he's playing in his 6th year. So he's been through the wars literally in this league for a long time. Yeah, and we have plenty of options there. You know, starting with Joe Toussaint, but Aaron Eulis, I can play Connor at the point. Tony Perkins can play the point. You know, and then it'd be a question of who we play alongside Jordan, so they're not just mugging him out of the building. So there's others that can, you know, take some of the defensive pressure away from him as well.